Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Luke with Premium Aquatics here with Fred and Ted. Don't forget them. We've got the Kamoer temporarily set up. We'll talk about it here in a second. Let's go ahead, jump right in it. What do you say, guys? Let's go. So Fred and Ted are going to be just temporary set up here. They're going to be under the sink because we have the RODI we have the RO water, and we have it going down to where my tank setup is. So I'll put this guy underneath the sink, and then when I need to do some water changes, what I can do is I can pull him out, put him up here, and do the manual button or use the app to make it function. What I'm going to do is we're going to show you the setup. We're going to do it. I've got a bucket here. I'm just going to showcase it real quick for you guys so you know what I've got going on. And then I'll go over the app and we'll show you how that gets set up. So without further ado, let's go, guys. Okay, so we've got our tank set up. This is technically for the new salt water. I've switched the lines because I had them backwards, but this is from the reservoir. This is to the tank. And we have the green line that's coming down here, and it's going into this 5-gallon bucket, just so you can see it showing. And then the clear line, I had to go buy new just so I had enough. And then we're going to be going down here. I've got a clamp on it just to hold it in place, and it crimps right here. And this actually spirals around underneath the sink and goes down from there. And let's go ahead and follow that down. Okay, and then come down here, go past our water system for the house upstairs, and it comes down and we go right into our trash can. This is not quite full. I have a clamp here, just hold the hose so it doesn't come out. So let's go ahead and go back upstairs. I'll do the manual button so you can see if this sucker is going to pull it up all the way up there. We are at 14 feet. Okay, so I'm going to show you quickly this running, and then we'll get into the app here. This is up about 14-ish feet from the basement, so keep that in mind. We are pulling up this technically can go 32 feet, so we could actually go above the house and still pull. So I've got it all set up, which again we'll go over. This state light is green, so we're good. And then I'm going to push this manual button here, and it's going to start pulling the water from this clear tubing. So we got the water coming up, it's going through the unit, and we're following the green tube down, going all the length of this that I have extra, and we're going to put it in this bucket. And there we go, it's starting. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and jump right into the app now that we have that out of the way. So we are going to download the Kamoer remote app. So let's go ahead and click on this, jump in. And here you can see I have my device already set up. It's online. I'm going to skip getting one set up because that's pretty straightforward. Just click on that plus right there, and it actually walks you through the steps of getting it set up. So I'm going to skip that since it's pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and get into my unit. And here you can see the X2SR, and you can see we have sensor status, liquid status, and pump status. So here you can see we have the liquid level, anti-overflow, fresh water, and wastewater that we talked about last time. All of mine are offline or off because I'm not going to be utilizing them yet until I can get a setup that is going to be allowed to use them. It's just going to be a headache trying to get those set up now with how my unit's going to be working. So as of now, I won't be able to test those out, but in the future, hopefully we will. And then we have our liquid status, which is for our wastewater and for our tank. As you can see, we changed it to 227. You can go ahead and change that to whatever you want down here. And then you can also turn off monitoring if you so desire. And same thing with wastewater. You can change the liters to the wastewater, and then you can also turn off monitoring, which is what I did since I will not be utilizing it. And then at the bottom, we have our pump status of our discharge pump, the saltwater pump, and then our freshwater pump. This basically allows us to just see what the status of it is. And then we can, of course, stop it if we need to. If you're got an emergency, you got to run, hit stop, away you go. And then on the bottom here, you can see we're on the status page. We also have an exchange page and a setting. So let's go ahead and click on the exchange here real quick. And this is going to be your meat and potatoes. This is going to be how we're setting up a schedule and what we're actually doing with a plan or manual if you want to. If you look up here, you can see we're on plan, but if we click on this little arrow here, we can actually go to manual, which is what I was using earlier to show you it filling up. It's real nice here. You have light blue to signify the bottom pump and dark blue to signify the top pump. And then of course we have our add fresh water as well. So you can click on any of these, like say for add salt water, I changed it to 10,000 milliliters to dose. So every time I go and hit play button over here, it's going to go ahead and dose 10,000 milliliters of water to wherever I have it going. Once you hit that play, don't worry, a stop button will appear, so that way if you do need to stop, you have an emergency, whatever, you can turn that off. And you can change for the discharge, and of course you can change it for the add fresh water as well. So that's really nice if you need to do a manual setup. Sometimes you're dosing something, or you had emergency medication that you need to change out water. This allows you to do it. And if we go back to plan, here's how we set it up. Super easy. First, we have our running method, which if we click on this, we have either in and out at the same time or first out, second in. Those basically mean in and out at the same time. You're pulling the water in and pushing new water in at the same time. If you're going to use it, just make sure that you're not, as much as possible, pulling out water that you're just putting in. So you want to pull out from, the first chamber of your sump and put into the second chamber. That way you minimize how much you're going to pull back out as your water and tank is still cycling. First out and second in is basically means first the pump is going to pull everything out that it needs, that you tell it to, and then it's going to push that water back in as you requested as well. Keep in mind for that one that you're not pulling out more than your sump can take. So you're not draining your sump as you're pulling it out. So just keep that in mind for both scenarios and choose which works better for you. Then we have the cycle date, which is how often we want to do it, either by days or weekly. If we choose by days, basically you're just saying, I want to change water every 39 days. Then we go up and hit save. And this is where it has a little bit of a bug. It saved it. You saw it working there, but it doesn't go back to the other screen. So I have to hit the little back button on my phone over here, go back to it, and you can see it hasn't updated. But if I go back again to this main page here and then click back into it, loads, and then go back to the exchange, now you can see it's updated every 39 days. So with the cycle date, for some reason, it doesn't take you back and it's updated already. You got to go back, but don't worry, it does save. Just hit the save. It actually does save it, just hasn't updated it. So then if we go to weekly, same deal. You're just choosing what day of the week you want it to do the water change. So every week it's going to do it on, say, Wednesday and Saturday. Or if you want to do it just one day a week, do it Wednesday. Or if you want to do a tiny one every single day, you can do that as well. So completely up to you. Again, we hit save, it works. Then we have to hit back, go back into it, and to exchange, and then it will be updated. I assume that will be updated with more firmware updates, so not a big issue. Don't freak out about it. Just keep in mind when you hit save, it's going to stay there, so just back out of it and you'll be good to go. Then we have our exchange plans. We can turn this off if we need to. So say you're going on a vacation, you don't have anyone that's really watching it or know what they're doing. You can turn that off, and now it's not going to do any water changes for you until you turn that back on. So then when you get back, go ahead and turn it back on, and it resumes its normal schedule. So if we want to add something, we're going to hit this little plus here, and we're going to do add plan or quick plan. For this one, we'll do add a plan. And so we're going to set our start time. Say we want it at 5:30 here. So we'll go up to 17:30. Hit done. And then we want our exchange volume. So how much it's going to change out. Say I want 5,000 milliliters. And then it's going to give us our end time. So if we change out 5,000 milliliters and we started at 17:30, it's going to end in 17 minutes at 17:47. So it's kind of nice to give you an idea of, okay, if it goes past this, hey, watch out. So then we just hit save, and it's going to take us back to the page like it should. And here you can see our new schedule. I don't want to, so we can go back in here and we can hit delete. And we confirm it and delete it. So if you want to do a quick plan, then
You just click on Quick Plan, and this basically allows you to enter all the information at once and makes it just a little bit faster. Not a big deal. Do whichever one you prefer, but that allows you the option there. And really, that's all there is to setting up a plan. And then down below, you can see our total exchange is going to be 10,000 milliliters, which in proportion to our tank size is going to be 4.4%. So if you want to do 5%, add up a little bit more to get that 5%. Kind of nice to know that information. So that's all there is to it, guys. That is so simple, so easy to set up, and just actually really amazing. I love it. I'm really excited to get this going. And then if you click over here on settings, that's just your general information, your name, your serial number. You can update it, obviously, once the updates come out. You can also control your speed setting, time setting, that sort of thing if you want to change it. I'm not going to worry about that, but it's there if you want it. So that's simple as it gets. It's really easy. Obviously, it'll be a little bit more in depth once we get these sensors going, but even then, getting everything set up is going to be really, really easy. It's just a matter of getting it all plumbed and the sensors put where you want it. So you're going to have some cords, but in general, this is super, super easy to set up. I actually really, really love how easy this was to program and how user-friendly it is, which I really appreciate. Go check it out, guys, if you haven't already. If you didn't see the first video, go back and check that one where we opened it up and brought it out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. I'll put a link in the description below. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe, share the content, all that jazz. Stay happy, healthy, have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll catch you in just a few short weeks. Peace, guys.